Hello, Steve 39. Well, I did a video a few weeks ago about the Golden Girls because they had an episode that was removed from one of the streaming services. I can't remember which one it was now. And I was thinking before that, how has Blanche not been cancelled yet? Because she's a Southern belle and she's all about the South and she's always talking about the damn Yankees, and it's funny in a certain context, but I was thinking about it the other day, not having watched the show for years, and I was thinking how they must be coming for her eventually. And then they deleted an episode where the girls had face masks on, and there was a black actress who was in the scene, and they were like uncomfortable. And it was funny. It was ridiculous that they removed it because they weren't doing blackface, and yeah. And there were some black people who were like, this is not what we're asking for. We want destroying systemic racism, not, deleting episodes of the Golden Girls. This is not what we're asking for. It's just stupid. And I sort of didn't really think about it much more. And then I just saw a clip on YouTube that someone posted. Facebook, someone posted from YouTube. Was it YouTube? Whatever. The Golden Palace. Now, The Golden Palace was the show that only went for one season, unfortunately. It got a full season, though, fortunately, of 20-something episodes. It was this series after The Golden Girls finished because B. Arthur left and they wanted to keep going with the show. So basically, the girls went and moved to a hotel to run that. It was called The Golden Palace. And they had Don Cheadle, who I didn't realise it was him, actually, because I saw it when I was a kid, and it wasn't syndicated, as far as I am aware, with the rest of the Golden Girls. It sort of got lost, because it wasn't as successful as the rest of the show. The rest of the other... It's like a continuation. It really should have been the 8th season of the show, but it's a separate show. So I've heard in some places it gets attached to the syndicated package, it doesn't. But either way, I just saw a scene, and I haven't seen every episode. I found them all on YouTube recently, but I haven't had time to watch them. And I only saw a couple of episodes and then disappeared. And there was a brilliant episode. They showed just a few scenes from it. It was only a minute or two. I have to go find the whole episode now and watch it. Where Blanche is having some sort of Confederate event at the hotel, and she's got the flag out, the Army of South Virginia or whatever flag, which was then sort of used as the rebel flag, and then was taken by the Nazis and the white supremacists, and is seen as the Confederate flag, and also as that, like, the hate flag. So the flag that's on the General Lee, the flag that's creating a lot of drama, and I've done a bit of research about it and it's very difficult because there's a whole bunch of people that were raised to believe in the what was it called, the Lost Cause, the myth of the Lost Cause, which is basically the Gone with the Wind version of the South, where they're all fighting for I'm losing my words, God. Either way, that's where Blanche is from. That's the environment she was raised in, and she's confronted by this, of course, because the Don Cheadle character, I've forgotten his name. He basically loses his crap because what the flag means. And this was, I think, this was after Rodney King. I'm trying to remember what year it was. What year's the Golden Girls? Oh God, yeah. I should have done more research before I did this video, but I just saw this clip and it was really affecting, and I'm like, I need to talk about this. I want to talk about this. And he, of course, confronts her, and she resists it, and she resists it, and then there's a point where he's being sarcastic, and because she basically tells him what to do, and he pretends to be like the field slave, and he's like, oh, yes, and some white woman who's just standing there is like, oh, you should keep hold of that one, like, and Blanche is like, what the hell? I don't think like that, lady. And then, of course, she chases after him. I think he's wanting to quit, and because she obviously isn't listening to him and not respecting these issues. And she's like explaining, I don't think like that, lady. I grew up with people like that. That's just what everyone did. And when I was in hospital, having my child, I was in the room with a black lady. My husband had a fit, and she's talking about her life and realizing that she has grown up in that, and that all her life has basically been a lie. And she's asking, how do I handle this? How do I deal with my friends, my family, my history, my memories, all the things I love, if you're telling me they're all fake and I'm learning that they're all fake? How do I deal with this? And it's quite a moment. I'm like, well, I guess this is why Blanche wasn't cancelled, because they addressed it. She dealt with it. So on some level in the consciousness of pop culture, Blanche has been dealt with. So, and it was quite a remarkable scene. And like I said, I have to watch the whole episode now. I guess those were the best parts. But that is the dilemma that a lot of people have, where like the people who believe in the lost cause, who grew up in that, they're not racist people. They're not bad people, and they love their history and their heritage, or what they believe to be their heritage, which is sort of this alternative history. And they have to find a way to deal with it. And in the episode, basically, she basically says, I will, think differently. And he said about black people, and he said the same thing. Like, I will not assume the worst of white people either. But it's I don't know. It's just really great when you see a show as well written, because the Golden Palace was a really good show. It just didn't catch on like the Golden Girls. It didn't continue on for some reason. I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. I haven't seen every episode. I assume the quality was the same. I think I saw like the first 5 episodes. It's just great when you see an episode like that, a show like that, take on a subject like that, with great actors. I mean, Don Cheadle, I think that might have been his first big role, and take on an issue like that and do it so well. I mean, I kind of cry easily, I guess. I'm an emotional person, so it made me cry. And I'm like, to see Blanche, because I remember a couple of times watching it, I'm like, vaguely aware of her being this fossil from the South, and they always played it for laughs on some level, but there are a couple of episodes where she went home and they tried to play it like Gone with the Wind, and I'm like, these people don't really exist anymore, and they can't. And just to see them address that in her, because it's such a big part of a character, and it's so much fun to have fun with. But like Gone with the Wind, and that it's something you can't actually ignore. Gone with the Wind for me is very much a fantasy. It's not supposed to be real. You're not supposed to take it seriously. And I was sort of arguing in a few posts on that what are white people supposed to do? The ones who love this era, this fantasy, this heritage. What are they supposed to do with it? Can they not have it as a fantasy? How can we ever look back at the past if we have to look back at the past realistically? Can we ever watch a period film again? Because who's going to want to watch it if we really, really show it for what it was, and we show the slaves and how they're treated in every period film? And how do we handle this going forward? How do we handle the depictions of the past? Do we allow people that fantasy, that escapism, or do we have to cut it all out and cut it down and make it all about realism, and make there are documentaries and TV series that show that side of history. Can we have both? Does one undermine the other? Is one racist? Is it racist to exclude something, not include something? If it's just something you don't want to see, you don't want to deal with it, you don't want to watch a period romance and have to think about the horrors of slavery. It's interesting to me, just the whole thing. And I just saw that and I thought it was amazing. I'm crying, I need to talk about this right now. I didn't know they did this with her character. I always thought they just sort of left it as a sort of stereotypical caricature sort of thing about her. I never realised they actually dealt with it and got into it. And I'm so glad they did for the character, for Rue McClanahan, who is a great actress, and she had a few great moments there. was just brilliant. So I just want to talk about that. I just did. So I'm making too many YouTube videos at the moment, but I'm just finding a lot of things interesting and finding myself wanting to talk about a lot of stuff. So I'm probably going to keep doing this. But yes, watch The Golden Palace. If you haven't seen it, watch it. I'm going to go watch it because I'm watching Dukes of Hazzard at the moment. I'm into season 3, and then I'm going to do Knight Rider because I'm all about the cars, the 80s cars at the moment. But then after that, I'm doing Golden Palace. I might even do Golden Girls again as well because I haven't seen it for a few years. But I last time I watched it with my mother, and I don't know if I can watch the Golden Girls again. Yep. But I'm done. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. If you watched Golden Palace and you think it's great, tell me what you think about it. If you haven't watched it, give it a try. If you love the Golden Girls but somehow didn't know about the Golden Palace, you've got an extra season of the Golden Girls basically. Dorothy does show up for a couple of episodes, so she's not totally removed, but it's a different dynamic, different show. They bring in different characters, different environment, but they have, most of the characters basically. It's really great. You should watch it. I'm gonna go. Thanks. Bye.